Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. So my name is Megan and I am a full-time reseller on Poshmark, eBay, and Mercari. And today we are going to be talking about the viral sensation that is Bama Rush Talk and how we as resellers can learn from it. So what is Bama Rush Talk? If you don't know what those words mean, I don't blame you. I didn't know what that meant until like a week or two ago. So University of Alabama is really big into Greek life, fraternity, sororities, and a week, 2 weeks ago is when all the girls were starting to rush for their sororities. And doing so, they dress up, they wear all these different outfits, and they were making TikToks of their outfits, basically just showing what they're wearing, and then they would just be like, I got this shirt from here, I got this necklace from here, and that was pretty much it. Like a good example is like Target, Tiffany's, Claire's, you know, I mean, that's not actually all the brands, but like, you know what I mean. So basically, I wanted to make this video because we as resellers need to be paying attention to these viral moments, especially when it's like these college girls just coming out and telling us exactly the brands and the styles that they're wearing. It's really good to know, because as much as I love to watch fashion influencers, hey, I love Emma Chamberlain, I talk about her a lot. As much as I like to go on Vogue.com and see what the fall 2021 trends are and all that stuff, it's really important to see what people are actually wearing in the real world outside of the online space. Because, I mean, Vogue can say, oh, polka dots are in for fall, but like, are people in the street really like wearing polka dots? So I watched a lot of these Bama Rush TikToks, and let me tell you, it went so viral that I heard about this and I'm talking about this, and I don't even have a TikTok. You're probably like, so what makes you qualified to talk about this? I watched a lot of like compilations on the Bama Rush Talk on YouTube, but I've seen them all over Instagram, Twitter, like my YouTube channels. Actually, one of my favorite YouTube channels, Hot Lamode, he does like fashion videos, and he did like videos reviewing the Bama Rush Talk fashion and all that stuff. So it's gone pretty viral, where it's penetrated other platforms as well, which is where I learned about it. And again, I've been watching compilation videos of the TikToks, so through that I've found a few trends. I found trends in brands and I found trends in styles, but first we're gonna go over the brands. Okay, so first, there was a very big common theme amongst all the brands mentioned for the clothes, the jewelry, the shoes, everything. The three top brands I feel like I heard were Amazon, Shein, and Target, and that's in no particular order, but if it wasn't a particular order, I feel like Shein would have been number one, and then Amazon and Target. So yeah, those are what they were talking about for like everything pretty much. And then when it came to shoes, a really big shoe brand I heard mentioned was Steve Madden. And then for the jewelry, a big jewelry brand I heard was Kendra Scott and Tiffany's & Co. or Tiffany & Co. I'm a terrible reseller. I don't even know the proper name for the brand. And then also a lot of people were talking about local boutique stores, like, oh, I got this from blah blah blah, and it was a local boutique, so I would just like put that in the category of boutique brands. So from looking at all these brands, let's take out the Tiffany & Co., let's take out the Kendra Scott, let's take out even the Steve Madden, although I wouldn't call Steve Madden an expensive brand, but let's focus on the first three brands I mentioned: Target, Shein, and Amazon. What does this tell us about these girls? That they're relatively cheap, and I don't mean that in a negative way at all. I just mean that like these are cheap brands that they're wearing and they don't really have a resale value. These girls, they want to look fashionable, they want to look trendy. Like you'll see in the screenshots, they all look cute and they're all kind of wearing the same style. So there's obviously a trend going on that they're trying to achieve, but they don't want to break the bank doing it. And they don't really care about brands. I feel like sometimes in reselling we get so brand obsessed about finding certain brands or blah 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 that we're not really, that we need to be more style focused, because these girls are a lot more style focused than brand focused. And I think you could probably find, say, more like no-name brands that achieve this style that they're wearing, and maybe you can be able to sell them, maybe not for as much as you would like to, but like if you're looking at Shein that they're buying, Amazon they're buying, you know, they're buying things for like $20 maybe, you know, and most for a dress probably like 20 bucks off Shein. So that's another thing to keep in mind if you are trying to cater to this type of audience, or like the younger audience. They're not looking to spend a lot of money. I would say the two like expensive brands that were mentioned, Kendra Scott and Tiffany's. So for those, they obviously retail for a lot more money, especially Tiffany's, like that's expensive. But that's also a jewelry piece versus a clothing item. Jewelry is more classic, it doesn't really go out of style, whereas like, you know, the cottagecore dresses or whatever. Like, that's a trend right now, but say in a couple months that's not going to be a trend. So you're not going to want to spend a couple $100s on a dress when it's going to go out of style. But if you're spending a couple $100s on a Tiffany's piece, that's more of a timeless look. So they definitely seem to do spend money, but they just spend more money in their jewelry. And so I would say if you find like any Kendra Scott or any Tiffany, I would buy it and pick it up. It depends, well, obviously, like how much you're finding it for. But I don't really sell jewelry, to be honest, but I would say those are like the two brands that I found were more brand focused rather than like style focused. And now, like I said, the brands they're finding are cheap. They don't really care about the brand, they care about the style. So what are the styles that they're wearing? Well, there was 4 key takeaways I took. So the first trend that I saw were espadrille wedges. Not just any wedges, but specifically espadrille wedges. So many of the girls were wearing these like espadrille textured rope wedge sandals. And recently, within the past month or two, I actually had listed a Garnet Hill espadrille wedge, and they sold within like a month of listing them. So here we are. We see the pattern in the TikTok. I recently listed one and they sold within a month. So there we go. So, but when I had bought it and picked it up, I had no idea. I was just buying them because they were in really good condition. They're Garnet Hill and they were $4. But maybe there was a larger trend at play there. But yeah, I noticed a lot of the girls were wearing these wedges, and I don't know if it's because it's like rush and they're going to be on their feet a lot and a wedge is typically more comfortable. So maybe they're wearing them more around rush time, but when it comes to like actually their day-to-day life and their day-to-day dressing up, they're wearing more heels. I'm not really sure. I didn't really know espadrille wedges were in style, but I guess they are. And so yeah, I'm definitely gonna be more experimenting with these, picking them up and seeing how they do. It's not that I don't specifically pick up espadrille wedges, it's just that I guess I don't find them in good enough brands to pick them up. But maybe if I find them for a good price, say at the bins, I'll be more lenient with the brand and see how they do. Another trend I saw, and more of like the jewelry, was kind of 2 different trends which kind of contradict each other, but it's just what I saw. A lot of the girls wore like dainty jewelry, like dainty necklaces or dainty like bracelets and stuff. But actually I guess it's not really contradictory. They wore dainty necklaces and dainty bracelets. But the other trend I noticed was a lot of statement earrings, like really big earrings. So while their other like jewelry was like kind of thin chains and all that stuff, their earrings were more like a piece. Okay, now getting on to the actual clothes, there's 2 main trends that I saw. The first is ruffles. I saw lots of ruffles. Now, I mean, ruffles is just like an accent piece. It's on a lot of different clothing items, so I'm not saying pick up everything with a ruffle on it, but there are specific ruffle, like a specific ruffle trend that I saw. I'll have screenshots here, and they were like the swoop ruffle, so it's like a skirt and it's like the ruffle goes like that on the skirt, like a slope, almost like a ruffle like that. I saw it on dresses, I saw it on skirts. That seems to be the ruffle that is like currently on trend. So if you find any of those, pick it up and see how they do. Okay, but the main style that I saw, the one that kind of gave me the inspiration for this video because it was so overwhelming that I just had to talk about it, was a specific style dress, and I don't even know if like the correct terminology for what this dress is, but it was like a puff shoulder, square neckline, A-line dress. It was more of like a cottagecore silhouette, but not necessarily like cottagecore colors. Like it wasn't like neutral colors, it was like pinks and blues and like brighter colors or floral prints, but it had that cottagecore aesthetic with like the puff sleeve and the square neckline. So yeah, that is a huge trend that I saw. Like almost every girl was wearing a dress like that. So what I'm saying is if you find a dress like this, I'm not saying a lot of them were from Shein. I'm not saying if you find a Shein dress in this style, go pick it up to resell, because are you gonna make a ton of money off it? Like, not really. I don't know. I don't really like to sell Shein. It is so cheap on the website. There's just no point in reselling it. But what I am saying, if you find a dress like this maybe in a boutique brand, or if you find it just like in a vintage style that looks very similar to this, a vintage brand that looks very similar to this, maybe pick it up, experiment with it, see how it does. But also keep in mind, if these girls are a clientele, they're also not looking to spend a lot of money, so keep that in mind with your cost of goods and your pricing. But I wouldn't turn down this style if I saw it. But when you do list them, and if you're listing it with like a kind of a no-name brand, a boutique brand, or a vintage brand, make sure you're using the correct keywords like square neckline, shearing, A-line style. A lot of the dresses were like tiered as well, puff sleeve, short sleeve, like all these different things. All those different keywords are important. I mean, rush is kind of over and done with now, but you could also use like something like rush in the title or whatever. Not rush in the title, but for keywords, or you could do preppy, southern, just like stuff like that I think are great keywords to use as well. Like Southern belle dress, preppy dress, like sorority rush dress are all good keyword descriptors as well. But yeah, that's kind of today's video. Let me know what you guys thought about it. I'm not like good at like speaking off the cuff. I'm good at hauls because it's like, ooh, look at this item. I have something to talk about. I'm good at what's sold videos because like what's sold, here you know. But like me just like speaking like kind of off the cuff and like I'm not used to it. I don't know that I'm particularly good at it, but hopefully you guys gained something from this video. Hopefully you like this video. Again, hopefully I said everything the way I wanted to say it, but hopefully the screenshots will help get across my point even if I'm not good at articulating it. But if you did like this video, let me know. Comment down below telling me your thoughts. If you noticed any trends that maybe I missed, hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!